G'day guys, it's Heath here. I am the director of the upcoming video entitled Assessing Depression in Older People. Before I get into the breakdown of the treatment, I just wanted to thank everybody for the opportunity to work on, I guess, a project that's very close to my home, having a personal experience with the issue and also family and friends. I feel as though that, I guess, my life experience holds me in good stead to work on this project, and together with my filmmaking skills, I feel that I can bring something unique to the table here and hopefully create something that's engaging, compassionate, and authentic. At times you watch some of these videos and they don't really create a sense of atmosphere or realism of what it's like to deal with this issue. So yeah, depression is one of those things that doesn't discriminate, so we're hoping to try and shine a light on that and let, I guess, give people some kind of understanding that maybe at one stage or another it may impact on them or a family member or an older person that they are friends with. I guess the aim from a clinical point of view is to identify the tools that are used by RNs to assess depression, and how to document these tools, and then the outcomes for assessment. In terms of, I guess, creative viewpoint, we're looking to create something that's not just informative but also engaging, something that can connect on an emotional level, and so we'll be doing that by using real OPs, but also using actors who will be role-playing in realistic scenarios. I can't stress the realism enough and that create of intimacy. So if we could have some sense of identification rather with the audience and with our viewers, we'll definitely be capturing, I guess, their emotional interests, and at the same time they'll be engaged as learners. We'll be telling this story from the point of view of the RN. So the camera will pretty much be following the RN at most times, and it's giving us a warts and all close-up and personal, I guess, experience where we're sort of sharing her journey and also discovering and learning at the same time that she is. In terms of the older person in the video, what we're trying to shine, I guess, a light on in that scenario is a sense of, again, realism with depression, creating a tone, a mood, and just a sense of what it's like to perhaps be a sufferer, the isolation, the loneliness, the worthlessness, and I guess the disengagement overall. So let's get into the structure of the video. Now the video is going to be broken into three sections rather, or acts if you will, and these are based on the learning outcomes. So the first section we define depression and explain the barriers that we encounter when it comes to diagnosis. Then part two, we'll discuss the role of senior staff in reorganising and assessing depression. In part three, we describe the strategies to be implemented following the depression treatment, which is the assessment scenarios, and guess the outcomes that of those interview scenarios and ways to move forward. Again, like all the videos, we created sort of a hook, and the hook this time we called Finding the Light. So the idea is that with the right assessment, the right diagnosis, and the right treatment, that the older person can return to happiness and live, a hopeful and fulfilled life again, before, the depression came to their life. So the story will be told through the eyes of a young female RN, and who meets a new patient in the aged care facility, and the elderly patient she has concerns of for, so the elderly patient has been withdrawn, the elderly patient's been disengaged, and she discovers that this triggers, and perhaps there's concerns there that it might be suffering from depression. So Act 1, let's get into the creative elements. So Act 1, we actually